A, B, C, D and E. They were 5 happy people. One day, A met B and they realized they had a lot of things in common. They liked each other's company, so they became friends and they started staying together. Similarly, C, D and E, they also met and they also realized that they could become good friends. So they became friends and started staying as a group. Something like this happens in chemistry. When two or more different substances, in this case we have chlorine and hydrogen. So when they come together, observe what happens. So chlorine and hydrogen combine to form HCl. In this case, one molecule of hydrogen combines with one molecule of chlorine to form 2 molecules of HCl. But keep in mind, do not confuse the 2 molecules of HCl. 2 different substances, that is hydrogen and chlorine, they are forming one new substance which is HCl. Even though it is forming 2 molecules of HCl, but there is only one new compound being formed. Such a reaction is known as a direct combination or a synthesis reaction. This is a reaction in which 2 or more substances combine to form a single substance. So whenever 2 or more different substances, they combine to form a single new substance, such a reaction is known as a direct combination or a synthesis reaction. For example, when coal burns in oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. So 2 different substances, coal, that is carbon, and oxygen, they combine to form a single new substance, that is carbon dioxide. Similarly, ammonia and HCl, these are 2 different substances. They combine to form one new substance, that is ammonium chloride. So when ammonia and HCl combine, they form dense white fumes of ammonium chloride. So 2 different substances are forming one new substance. Now one day there was a fight. E fought with C and D, so it decided to leave the group. So C and D, they remained as a group and E left the group. So there was a split in the group. Something like this happens in chemistry. So there is one compound, in this case calcium carbonate. This calcium carbonate decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So such a reaction in which one compound decomposes to form 2 or more products, such a reaction is known as decomposition reaction. This is the breaking up of a compound into 2 or more new substances. This is known as a decomposition reaction, as one substance decomposes to form 2 or more products. So such a reaction in which one compound breaks to form 2 or more new products is known as a decomposition reaction. For example, copper carbonate. If we heat copper carbonate, it forms a black residue of copper oxide and a gas is released, which is carbon dioxide gas. So one substance, that is copper carbonate, is decomposing to give 2 products, that is copper oxide and carbon dioxide. Similarly, water. When electric current is passed through water, it breaks up into its constituent atoms. That is, it forms hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. So when we pass electric current through water, it forms hydrogen and oxygen. So one compound is decomposing into 2 products. Now do not confuse this with the number of molecules involved. In this case, we are not concerned with the number of molecules of reactants or products. What we want to know is one substance, that is water, breaks up to form 2 products, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Now E had left the group of CDE. So when E met AB, A realized that A liked E more than B. So A became friends with E and B left the group. So what E did was, E replaced B from its group. Something like this happens in chemistry. In this case, we have iron and copper sulfate. When they combine, see what happens? Iron replaces copper from its salt solution. So such a reaction in which one atom replaces another atom from its salt solution. Such a reaction takes place in a salt solution, that is in a solution of the particular salt. So whenever one atom replaces another atom from its salt solution, such a reaction is known as single displacement reaction. As one atom is displacing another atom. So such a reaction is known as single displacement reaction. For example, if you take an iron nail and you insert it in a blue solution of copper sulfate, after some time you observe that the solution turns green in color. It forms green colored iron sulfate and there is a reddish brown deposit on the iron nail. This deposit is of pure element copper. This forms a red precipitate as we see from this arrow. So the reaction taking place is iron reacting with copper sulfate to form iron sulfate, the green colored solution, and copper. Now what is happening in this case? This iron is displacing copper. It replaces copper from its salt solution. It takes up the position of copper, hence it forms FeSO4 and copper is replaced. So such a reaction is single displacement reaction. Similarly, when CuSO4 combines with magnesium, magnesium replaces copper, it forms MgSO4 and copper is formed. So such a reaction in which one atom replaces another atom from its salt solution is known as a single displacement reaction. Now there were two groups, AE and CD. When they met one day, A found that he liked D more and E found that he was more comfortable with C. So then there was a mutual exchange and AD became friends and EC became friends. So by the mutual exchange of friends, two new groups were formed. When something like this happens in chemistry, for example, in this case, there is silver nitrate and potassium chloride. When they come together, Ag combines with Cl and potassium combines with nitrate. So there is a mutual exchange of the elements or radicals, such a reaction in which there is a mutual exchange of elements or radicals. So in this reaction we saw that there is a reaction in which two compounds are participating. So there are two compounds in solution, they form two new compounds. So from two existing compounds, we get two new compounds by the mutual exchange of elements or radicals. Such a reaction is known as double displacement reaction. In single displacement, one atom replaces another atom from its salt solution. In double displacement reaction, there is a mutual exchange between the two compounds and they form two new compounds. Such a reaction is known as double displacement reaction. For example, let's observe this reaction. We have lead nitrate solution. Now we'll add some potassium chromate to it. Observe what happens. So when we add a solution of potassium chromate, it forms yellow precipitate of lead chromate and also potassium nitrate is formed. So in this reaction, we know radicals act as one group. So this is a radical, this is a radical. So now there is a mutual exchange of radicals. So this comes here and this goes here. So it forms lead chromate and potassium nitrate. So whenever there is a mutual exchange of elements or radicals in two existing compounds to form two new compounds, such a reaction is known as double displacement reaction. A reaction is given, lead combines with copper chloride to form PbCl2 and copper. What type of a reaction is this? In this, we observe that lead replaces copper from its salt solution, hence it forms PbCl2 and copper is replaced. So such a reaction in which one atom replaces another atom from its salt solution is known as a single displacement reaction. So a type of reaction in which one atom replaces another atom from its salt solution is known as a single displacement reaction.